Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and I am back with some more Zero Escape 999, 9 persons, 9 doors, 9 whatevers. There are not 9 people anymore, one of them is dead. Anyway, so, we just did a bunch of escape room stuff, and I may have gotten some very, very basic math wrong, but that's not the point. Regardless, now we're at Snake and a bunch of other doors in what appears to be a hospital room, but also kinda isn't, because there are no people in it, and just beds. And a lot of blood, but not ours, so it's fine. Anyway, Snake! Yeah, but it was more than just Snake. Oh, hey. Oh, wow, it's everybody.
Clover, 7.
Alright, so yeah, basically everyone's here. Hey, Lolbits, welcome to the stream, how you doing? Alright. Basically the whole gang's here. Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who would have opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. So I guess whichever route I chose, it still would have wound up like this. I guess. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How did you guys?
Because the doors opened up to the same place. That's it.
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
We just walked through doors, it's not... Guys. After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. I'm doing pretty well, Lawbitch. Thanks for asking. Alright. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Alright, I think the audio's fine. Anyway, they were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Mind you, wouldn't be thinking of any of this if we were in adventure mode. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. Even though the ninth man kinda sucked, the ninth man had died, but they were still alive. And that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Though we are all still on a sinking ship, and that guy had a bomb in him. And we all have bombs in us, so... yeah, anyway. Still alive. When you're dying, I'll be still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive. Alright.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
Well, yeah, we both went through escape rooms, that was it. His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought. Then he spoke.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were
Then he
already
just starts
gone.
kissing Ace. No, Junpei, you don't have it straight. Alright.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
Okay.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Huh.
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're all vaguely
So
on
you
the same
followed
page.
the voices and came back here.
Which would be us.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Wait, were they our voices or were they someone else's voices?
Why don't we check those 3 reds again, just in case?
Maybe it only activates when we're all here.
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom.
Long, thin gap on the bottom. What?
I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
I don't see anything.
Well, this isn't good.
Oh yeah, someone just got exploded in paste in front of my eyes, but I'm alive, so fuck yeah! I mean, in fairness, that guy did hold a knife up to someone's throat. So it was kind of like, well, I mean, he's dead, but like, are we really that sad about it?
If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
One
No.
can hope.
There isn't.
Huh.
There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual
Do they
rooms
have-
in addition to this large one.
Supplements?
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Oh, hey, we've got a key for that.
Not again.
I think.
Those
No, wait, we have the one
goddamn
for
things are
Mars?
Everywhere.
Wait, which one do we have?
I wonder what they all mean.
Do we have the key to Uranus? For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
What if there were a lot of dead people on it? Well, I guess if they were dead, they wouldn't need a hospital, they'd need a morgue, but... whatever. Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
They named a ship the Gigantic?
The Gigantic?
The Gigantic. Junpei looked confused, as did the audience, i.e. me. Look, he was expecting some Flintstone gummies somewhere and someone had to OD on them to progress. Like a Saw sort of thing. One of you has to eat all of these Flintstone vitamins to progress. And then they just become extremely strong and break out of their jail because they have too many vitamins. So did everyone else.
What is this gigantic?
Seven knit his brow for a moment and then began to explain.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century.
Huh. What if this is actually true?
Actually, the Titanic had two sister ships, and they looked exactly the same.
Huh. Sisters, you say?
The Gigantic was said to be one of them.
The Titanic, the Gigantic, and the... What if the third one was just called the Big?
They intended to make her
Just
a
to
passenger,
simplify it.
like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched.
If copyright dodging from the ship names. I'm not sure if the Titanic is copyrighted. And if it is, I don't think they... What are they copywriting? The ship is in the ocean.
The British Navy
At the
took her
bottom
over
of
and
it.
made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gordain bought her.
Wait, the ship ran aground and they know that, but they don't know what happened
It
to
seemed
it.
like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself. Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
Well, you know, my wife died, but she's got a twin sister who also
So
tried to
you're
kill
saying
me.
This Lord Gordain bought this ship?
Rather, I think it's more like, oh, my wife tried to kill me, but her twin sister is still alive, and, I'll go with her.
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down. Just pay
And it's
attention.
possible, it's just not at the bottom of the ocean.
What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof. The Britannic was originally intended to be named the Gigantic, but the name was changed after the Titanic sank. The Titanic had a dead name? Really? Huh. I say we support the Titanic's new identity as a ship at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, anyone going that close
Proof
to the
that
iceberg
ship
already
is
had an
really the
issue.
Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured.
That's a reasonable guess.
Don't tell me that's your only reason.
Okay, Lotus, kind of forgot your name for a sec. It's a reasonable guess, and it's better than any of our guesses.
No, I've got more.
It could also be called, the Flying Dutchman.
Like?
Well, I mean,
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Look, Lotus, he gave it a shot. It's a reasonable guess. Let him go. Sunken ship is a very acceptable gender. They go by sunken ship self. Oh, man. Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Does that mean like a crashed plane would be like crash, crashed, and plane self?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
What? Junpei was, he felt, legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange. Did I walk into another timeline or something?
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
Everyone nodded.
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you.
Oh, I would have told you, but I forgot.
I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before.
You go to the plane pronouns work? Oh, good. Okay, yeah. I'm an ally. Yeah.
What?
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment, or...
A bell.
Wait, did I miscount? A bell began to ring from far away.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12.
12.
12.
Okay, so it's 12 o'clock, meaning we've been here for 5 hours?
It's midnight.
We started at 7, I think.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
It's been 3 hours then. Okay, yeah.
We don't have any time to screw around.
I have an hour of our schedule marked out exclusively for screwing around. This entire escape room is hallucination. Bro's just drooling in a college class lecture. What if this is just a really elaborate escape room place, and this is like the promotional video for it?
Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
That would be a really cool idea for like a party ship, where it's like... It's themed after, like, the Titanic or whatever, and you're like, you have to escape on it. Granted, that is pretty limiting in terms of what you can use it for, but I think it's an interesting idea.
Everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
I guess that's not really right, is what the line said. Why is there a difference between what the line says and what he's actually saying? Huh?
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Well, what other option do we have?
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
Out of 8,000.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Her earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
Maybe?
Did you count any of them twice? They pulled the Danganronpa, everything is just a TV show set, but the characters actually die. And that would be a way of doing
everyone
things.
knows which area they're searching?
I guess that could be an interesting, like, thing for a game where it's like a mystery thing, and you're technically the killer, but you have to come up with the different ways that make it more entertaining for the audience trying to figure out, like, who did what.
Yeah.
I heard there is like a game where you're like filming a reality show and you gotta like try to appeal to different audiences, but like what if that but like a murder mystery thing?
Yes.
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Huh.
Yeah. Sounds
So basically
straightforward
we're
enough.
spending an entire hour of our 6 remaining hours
I'll shout if I find any of the components.
just searching potential rooms.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Or we die. That's also a
Right.
possibility.
Then let's do this.
Like the translation and subtitles, they act like more of a summary of what they're saying as opposed to what they're actually saying. Like choosing the nice dialogue option when it comes out as you being an asshole, like, "Hello, fucker, I'm gonna kill your whole family for fun." Like that ProZD skit. I love that one. The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, Oh, wow, we probably found nothing then. Alright, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
And someone's gonna be dead when we get there. Resident Evil. He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital to find the 6 He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
So we're only missing 1. Huh? Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. So we're missing Snake. They had gathered in front of door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the door number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Are they gonna leave without us? Had one of them found the missing piece? Well, actually, 6 of them can't, because they can only take 5 at most, so...
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Vacante. Immediately, he knew what she had meant. Like a Mastermind POV MM game? This actually sounds so fun. You can choose to be like a guest star, come up with some punishments and traps too. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Mods go crazy for a game like that, especially with like sprite art. I hate door animations like that mainly because I expect a jump scare or some shit. I do too, but I find it more interesting when there's a jump scare like maybe 1 every 10 times. Because then it's like, oh, there's like a chance like only a chance that'll be crazy. That keeps it more interesting, you know? Immediately, he knew what she had meant.
Vacant.
Vacante. You know, it's funny, it's spelled just like the word vacant. Junpei sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
Snake is the only one we don't see, so I assume it's him. Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
When I
You
got
don't
back,
know.
it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What?
So the
Let me
only one
see.
it could have been was Snake. Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. Yeah, I still don't see where exactly the thing is supposed to go in. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
So, in that case, it might not have been Snake, but we also don't know where Snake is. It's like a random demonetizer scene where it's just straight up gore of a previous character's death, but not ban-worthy. That would be kind of funny as like a streamer thing, where it's like streamer hard mode, where every chance of opening a door, there's like a naked woman or something like that. So there's a chance of it being like, oh god! Jump scare nudity.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
What if
None.
somebody does? Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, not me. Not me. And Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed. There's a
Where's Snake?
snake in my boat. A 3 POV of a still image would be great. Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Does that mean that he found them?
Streamer hard mode. That has 2 meanings.
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
Also, Snake is 2 though, and none of these doors are 2, so he couldn't have gone through them on his own.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Yeah, that's a reasonable point. Suddenly, she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see.
He's basically Daredevil. Okay, gotcha.
So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible.
Wouldn't be a very good idea for game ratings, but it would be a very interesting concept in general for a Steam game exclusive. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Especially, like, for streamers, it'd be really funny. Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him.
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover. Wait!
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
We should split up.
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk.
Okay, Santa,
Now
that
let's
was
waste some
necessary to
more by
progress.
looking for a couple of idiots.
That part
Then
is true,
remain
though.
here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
I'm trying to go on what I assume is the June route, so I'm just gonna keep going with her, I guess, whatever she wants. Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to the B deck, they decided to split up. Shouldn't we have split up based on, like, what numbers we can go through?
Let's split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Because the
I
moment...
shall look that way.
Let's see, we got... 1... I guess if we're all going, then
over
it's
here.
fine.
See you all later.
Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others.
All right, we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Let's see.
Oh boy. Well, they probably wouldn't be in here. Could be the hallway. Streamer hard mode. The character you select as your favorite each chapter changes their dialogue to Gooner bait before each death. But Animalon says, fuck that, we're gonna do our white girl horror movie shit. Remember guys, if we all split up and then don't yell when we die, the killer will have a better chance. Let's do that. Hallway with all the rooms? Probably not. Go to the first class cabin, why not?
Oh, what about the first class cabin on B deck?
On Bedeck.
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They took off up the stairs at a run. Outside of the first class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point in the wall, her eyes blank. She blind too? What should Junpei do? Talk to her?
Are you alright?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He couldn't think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone,
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
alone,
Hmm?
alone. I said leave me alone!
And say it fucking louder! Holy shit! Suddenly, she was screaming. It's like when you try to, like, increase the volume in your computer, and then it does all at once at the very end of you clicking.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off!
We have to get off the boat.
Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright, let's go, June.
Yeah.
Leave her to her wall. It's just like, fuck you, and fuck off, and leave me to my lotions. Oh, the floor just cracked. I believe I might fall. They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed. Yeah? Yeah?
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
Clearly she needs him to function. Alright. He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next?
Well, if it's Snake, it's gotta be Snake Eyes, right?
How about the
Gamble.
casino?
Let's go take a look.
They turned and headed off down the hallway to their right at a jog. If they're under such time constraints, then I'd have to imagine they're very fast talkers in order to have full convos like this without worrying for time all too much. That is true. They do spend a lot of time talking for the amount of time they actually spend trying to get off the ship. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails. Lotus, would it kill you to do actual work?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
In your nails?
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
We are open to a third. What? What? Sure.
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it.
Okay.
Why don't we team up?
How so?
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you?
Yes.
I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Okay.
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Okay, so wait, let me think. She is 6. No, wait. She's 6. She's 8. And I'm 5. That makes us together 10. Right? That's 4, 8, 16... No, wait. 8, 14, 19. That's 10. We don't have a number door we can go through.
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8.
I'm pretty sure the only ones available right now are 3, 8, and something
Our
else.
digital route would be 1.
Oh, yeah, it would. 5 plus 6 plus 8 is 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1.
But
Yeah.
there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Then we add another person.
Such as...
Huh?
Actually, let me think. In order to get a 3, a 7, or an 8, we would need either Santa, who we had before, because that would bring us to... Wait. That'd be 4. Never mind. Wait. Yes, that'd be 4. Alright. We would need fucking 2, which would be Snake, who we don't have. We can't do 3. We would need another 6 to get to 25, so we can't do 7. And we would need fucking 7 to get to 8. So I guess if we had 7, it'd be fine, but he doesn't really want to...
Who?
I don't know. Who?
What? Isn't that easy? 7.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I can do
had
math!
7.
Alright! If they could, the last time they went through a random door, the guy blew up. It's only not smart if they don't find the thing they need to not blow up inside of it. What are they doing all this math? I thought it was simple addition. Because, people like me.
5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 equals 26.
Which leads to 8. Yes,
Digital
we got
root of
that.
26. 2 plus 6 equals 8.
Then the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door. But...
Wait a minute. What about the other 4? Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Because that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, actually. Be 1, 3, 6. That would lead to 1. So they wouldn't be able to leave.
Well, why don't you add them up?
That would also
1 plus
lead to
2
1.
Plus 3 plus 4. And 1 plus 0 equals 1. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
Exactly.
right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am?
I think you're the kind of woman that would leave them behind. Like you just implied you would.
Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we?
If we have enough time to do that.
Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
Oh,
Don't
God.
try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
Because we were locked in the freezer earlier, you did nothing! Goddamn square roots. Yeah, well, it's getting up there. It's like digital roots, I think it's
Remember,
called.
don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
What if we had like a helicopter?
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship.
Because we need 9 to get off the ship.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital route for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
But we kind of can't bring Ace because he wouldn't make the number an 8. Lotus scratched the back of her ear.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate? That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said. Nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious?
It actually is kind of impossible based on what I know, but
And you do know that
it would
only
all add
5
up
people,
if
at most,
we
can go
had
through
the
one of
9th
the
guy,
doors,
but we
right?
don't, because he's very dead. So now we're kind of fucked.
The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Unless they just pass through after us, but they also don't have the numbers for that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Oh, wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes, what she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about something so terrifying a prospect was beyond him. Like a digital route. So basically, a digital route is when you add up the numbers of whatever number it is into one number to make it like 1 to 9. So like for instance, the digital root of 22 is 4 because it's 2 plus 2 equals 4. And in the event that it's like 19 for example, 19 would be added together to make 10, but since it has to be a 1-digit number, you'd add that 1 and the 0 to make 1.
Is that really okay? That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that? That's just...
Pretty fucked. Lotus's forehead furrowed. And what a forehead it was. There's so much of it.
You think I could have a moment alone?
With which one of us?
There's some things I need to think about.
Oh. So that was kind of dark, but yeah, Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty shit. Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere. You said magic words that I hardly understand, but I'm trusting your capabilities, Mr. Strimmer. After the whole thing from last episode where I completely fucked up Basic Edition, I would not trust my abilities.
Regardless.
So he forced himself to smile and turn to June.
Let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
Alright. Where should we go next?
Okay. We can go back to the first class cabin, but I don't think that's a good idea. Hallway with all the rooms.
Let's go
Why
back
not?
downstairs and check out that hallway with all the doors.
Together, they ran down the stairs.
Oh, it's Ace.
Oh yay, is he gonna also give us the deal? I will tell you $5,000. To do what? You don't want to know. Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
Snake, stop kidding around! Snake? Snake! What did Junpei do? Run to Ace.
Let's go.
Run up right behind him so he doesn't know we're here. With June in tow, Junpei jogged up to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them.
Ah, hello there. Snake is... Well, that's obvious, isn't it?
Dead.
I assume you haven't found him yet?
Yeah, doesn't seem like you're having any luck either.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can. For Clover's sake.
Right.
Well, June, what was this? What are you doing here? June's face looked kinda enraptured.
By the way, do you think
I mean, he's a
Clover and
cool
Snake
dude,
are
but-
really siblings?
Why would you say that?
Because they look nothing alike? How would you say that? The question seemed somehow odd to Junpei.
Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all.
Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke.
Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't.
Is everyone in on some kind of bit except Junpei? Is that gonna be the twist for this? Is that Junpei's the only one who's not in on whatever is happening? Now that you mention it.
Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another.
Like that one show on Disney all those years ago with the brothers that were kings, and one of them was black and the other was white. One of them was that dude from Hannah Montana, and the other one was that guy from that one episode of Zack and Cody. Or he was on a lot of episodes, I kind of forgot. Either way, yeah.
It certainly isn't rare.
I wonder what happened to that show? It was like Twin Kings or something. Anyway, Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke.
At any rate, we really must find Snake as soon as possible.
What if these two are siblings, and that's the implication there? This game is so cooked when you pull out a calculator. Dude, when I go to 2nd grade math, I'm gonna dominate this game. I want Snake to randomly deepen their voice and go, Colonel, I need to bulk up a bit. My ass cheeks ain't big enough. I'm too much of a boy failure.
The clock is ticking.
I'd like to be a
can't
boy
afford to
boss.
waste any time. Very well. Let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
All right. Let's go, Jumpy.
Okay, so essentially, we have found nothing and gone to 3 different places. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil.
Something about that was... I'll think on it later.
They're gonna kill him later.
Like
What
Ace
if
said,
I'm secretly Ace's
finding
brother?
Snake is our top priority.
Junpei did his best to clear his mind.
All right, where should we go next?
There's nowhere else to go.
Why don't we go back to the big hospital room?
Okay, let's go then.
Maybe he went there and we didn't realize. They turned and headed back toward the large hospital room.
Hey, wait, that's...
Oh. I thought he was dead for a sec, not gonna lie. On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? I know I can walk away without saying anything, but I feel like that would be a problem if I did that. Junpei and June walked up to Santa.
What are you doing?
What? You can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why?
Yeah, that's
Is there
definitely
something
red.
bothering you?
What? It's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red. Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
I mean,
Yeah, that's
kind
true.
of figured who did it.
Well, I'm curious too, but
Who do you think did it?
I think it was God. Narrowed as he looked at June. Yeah, Santa's eyes narrowed as he looks at June. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us?
I think it's someone other than the 8 of them. If it was Lotus, she probably would have just gone at the first opportunity. 0 is possible, but not necessarily. I'm gonna go with this.
Maybe there's someone else on this ship with us.
You mean someone hiding here?
Other than 0, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just an idea.
And you're saying this mystery person fixed the reds?
Yeah?
Why?
That's...
For, I don't know, comedy? Think about it, like, we're trying to apply logic to a character that may not be logical. That's our first issue there, is that we have to figure out, like, what exactly the deal is, and if it actually makes any sense in the first place.
Seems unlikely.
Santa shoved his hands into his pockets and cracked his knuckles.
Why?
I don't know. Just a feeling. Hard to believe Zero would bring in a secret 10th player. I mean, the name of the game is the Nonary game, for Christ's sake.
And now one of them is dead, so he needs
You
to
know
bring in
what
another.
Nonary means, right? It means 9.
No, it means none air-y.
No,
They don't
that's
like
not what
me.
I meant.
Airy head. That was the dumbest joke I've made in my entire life. It doesn't even make any sense. Alright. Anywho.
I mean more like someone who's been living here for a long time. Or someone
Lord
who,
Gunderson, or
like,
whoever it was.
stayed here.
Seriously? That's even more ridiculous. Why do you
True,
think
there is
Zero
no
would leave
sign
them
of anyone
alone?
actually living here. Junpei furrowed his brow.
So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bingo! We have a winner.
Can't be anybody else.
But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know that they fixed it.
Yeah,
But why?
no idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad.
Honestly, at that point it probably is Lotus, because she was
Something
probably just
bad.
hoping to leave at the first, like, sign of people.
Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding.
Plus, Lotus seems a little sus in general.
Of course, it could have something to do with Snake's disappearance.
You think maybe they did something to Snake?
Maybe Snake is la dead.
Yeah.
Junpei stared at Santa. There was something about him that made Junpei wary. At first, he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet.
Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose.
Santa, I don't think, is the culprit. I do think, though, that he's definitely gonna cause problems at some point.
You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
What if that's foreshadowing for her? Or if it's just paranoia from him? It could be either one. That's the best part about this. I have no idea who, like, is gonna be the villain or whatever. With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away.
And that's that, I guess.
Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. Where would they go next? I mean, we've gone everywhere. There's nowhere else to check. Let's just finish searching. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here.
Okay, so let's recap. We're missing numbers 2, 4, and 9. 9 we've missed since the beginning, so we're not actually like that much of a loss there. We have 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From that, we need numbers 3, 7, or 8 in terms of a digital route. The trader arc is already starting, and they've been here for like 4 hours. That's how long it took. Santa, whoever that twink is, seems like the one that stirs up drama. Yep, that's the one. That's the guy. Mr. Twink. Alright. But yeah, it's, let me think. So, let me think. 3, 7, and 8 would get them to 9, but that's not really what they need. We need... What would get us to 3? I'm trying to think. I guess June, 7, and... Lotus would be able to make through the 3 door. And then that leaves Junpei as 5, 1, and then 3, which is a route of 9. Which we don't need at the moment, but we don't really have another option.
We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Actually, wait, no. Junpei would have 3 people with him. No, wait, there was only 6 of us. Never mind. Alright, yeah. Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seems to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, Seven spoke.
We don't got a choice.
I wonder if there's like a route of this game where I can get everyone alive. If that's like the secret route, because there was a thing in AI the Somnium Files, both of them, where, by the way, that's made by the same person as this, where you could make sure that everyone lived throughout all the routes. Everyone you could save, at least.
We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes.
You got no chance against me and Samoa Joe at Sacrifice!
You've all figured it out by now, haven't you?
We should be pro wrestlers.
We can't all make it through those doors.
Which, by the way, speaking of math, look up, I forgot what the video was called, but it was like wrestler math or something like that, where this guy goes through this whole thing of like, you have a 5% chance of winning against me at Sacrifice. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 1% chance at best, and I have a 175% chance something. And you had Kurt Angle to mix? I don't know. I forget the whole speech, but this guy was going through this math thing, and it's hilarious because of how horrifically incorrect it is. But that's kind of the point, I think.
If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind.
We could just leave behind Clover.
If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Well, we don't have Clover, do we? Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. Wait, let me think. Would we do that? Bro, I'm not doing all the math. I'm guessing she was right. I'm a quick not sure though. If I wasn't quite sure that was true.
Wait a minute. 2 people get left behind if we split into 5 and 2, and 1 person is left behind if we split into 3, 3, and 1. I got that part. You can't go through the numbered doors with any less than 3 people.
Yeah.
But if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people have to be left behind?
Just run the numbers.
I want to know your numbers.
Let's say we go through door 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
Who's left over?
That would be 3, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And what's the digital route for that?
9.
3 plus 7 plus 8 is 18.
Exactly. Yeah. But door 9 isn't here, right? That means 3, 7, 8 won't be going anywhere. That was just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same.
What if we swap the 3 on their team with a 2 on, or the 1 on our team? So that way they get 16, which is 7 as a route, and we get 7, 12, 8. Actually, no, that's true. That's fucked. Never mind.
Doesn't matter which 4 it is. The 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal, we only have to sacrifice 1 person if we split into 3, 3, and 1.
Okay, but where's the 1? When Seven spoke, his voice was strained.
Then you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that one. The Scott Steiner one. I fucking love it. I don't think the motherfuckers have to have the math skills to do this. I'm shocked that we all apparently have the math skills to do this. I don't, but, you know.
Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice themselves.
And sacrifice!
That's too cruel!
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan?
I will come up with one.
Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
Lotus, you realize it's not going to improve the situation.
That's not what I meant. We shouldn't sacrifice anyone.
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa, calm down, you two.
Even the fucking edgy guy isn't all about it. And a step between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
I guess, yeah.
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote.
We could just leave Clover behind, right?
What do you think?
No, that's terrible.
I mean, she's already not here, though. We could just leave her.
I'm not asking you. Shut up.
Okay, be nice.
What about you, Santa?
Me?
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2.
Huh.
7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
That's true.
Glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Oh, she is here. Okay. I think the stripper gal would be the second smartest, but surprisingly, she's the... yeah. Lotus with female or something, not American. I think they're all technically American until proven otherwise, or Japanese. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I guess the game's from Japan, so there's a pretty good chance that they're all technically Japanese, but... oh yeah. Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting in one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere.
Why does he
but
have to
didn't
be?
find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Yeah, but how? Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him.
But who are we
You
sacrificing?
Agree with me. Right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Ah, fuck. Lotus spun around and walked toward Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote to...
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. Why is Clover a pixel sprite when everyone else looks perfectly human? Is this a simulator? It is a little... I don't want to say lower quality, but definitely lower resolution than the rest of them.
That should solve our problem, yes?
I mean, does it? Number-wise? Oh. Yeah.
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that. That won't solve anything.
June's voice shook, and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
June, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you. Each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back.
Oh, that is a big mistake, especially with Lotus.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them.
You won't be able to return, correct?
But you can still get help to, like, saw through the ship when you get back.
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you.
Well, wait, how do you know
Once
that?
you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
What a dude, man. This guy's fucking awesome.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue no longer.
We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me?
Well, no.
Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
Also no. Ace's voice was dignified and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no rebuttal.
You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Junpei stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lip so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against the wall, calm and aloof. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. But it's still on there. Only Clover stared at Ace, with an expression Junpei was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Let's accept his kind offer then.
Lotus is pretty sus, I'm gonna be real. Ace is surprisingly more generous than 99% of people. I would've just sacrificed the indigo shirt girl. June. Well, I mean, she's kind of the main love interest, so we can't really do that, but... She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me.
I'm a really good swimmer.
Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already, D-Deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was that sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
Well, thank you, Santa. It's nice
You
to know that
too,
you're a member of the
Santa?
team. Love into the dies? Sounds like character development through trauma to me. It's like that meme where it's like God looking at me after he's introduced me to someone he's going to use to hurt me for character development.
I have to find my brother.
Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this.
We're not sacrificing anyone. We can come back and get Ace later, in theory.
There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine. Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran toward Ace. He'd slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet.
Is he like her dad or something? Like, what's the relation here? She seems very dedicated to making sure he lives.
We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Okay. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half like a boxer out cold. Man, he must have eaten all the Flintstone gummies.
Ace!
June cried out and dropped to her knees beside him. She put her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
She shook him frantically. His eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred. I think June doesn't want anyone to get sacrificed in vain. That is part of it, but there was a thing earlier where it seemed like she kind of knew him.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
Oh man, I fucking love opium. In it was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It had only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read Soparil Beta. Soparil Beta?
Soparil Beta. What does this do?
Puts you to sleep.
Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
But, like, wait, did you measure it properly? That's the thing anesthesiologists have to do.
Anesthetic.
I found it earlier. While we were searching the hospital rooms, I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap.
He's about to have the best sleep of his life, and probably the last sleep of it, but...
Very tired.
Junpei knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with anesthetic to forestall Junpei and Jun's attempts to bring him along. He couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind.
Ace!
Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
Self-administered anesthesia is highly dangerous. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Anesthesiologists are a profession for a reason. You don't just, like, inject yourself with it.
Don't, Ace, don't fall asleep.
There's a decent chance that'll kill him.
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ace's eyelids drooped further and further. Almost as though he were dying.
Ace! Ace!
Ace, stop kidding around! She shook his shoulder again and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
Well, bed, in the technical term, there's no pillows. This mattress is like a half an inch thick. He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now.
Oh, don't act like you care.
We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right?
Again, not sacrifice if we go back to save him.
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
Yes, I said you even mean that.
No, nothing.
Felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly, Santa spoke.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
What?
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, wrong numbers, wasn't it?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's true.
Anesthesia ain't like a dose of heroin. You can't just rectally inject this shit without much thought. I feel like even with a dose of heroin, you shouldn't do that, because you can still OD on heroin.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8.
Okay, so she's number 8, so she'll need 2 other people. Fuck, she can go with Santa and then, 7. And then she'll have enough people. Oh, no, wait, that would be 9. Shit. Santa and June, I guess?
It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next 7. Which one do you want?
Can we really decide on that?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
He called you old! Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step forward, or step toward 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
I'm not sure if she's the mastermind, but she's definitely a little, evil-ish. He shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off.
Alright, who's next?
Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei.
Junpei, which door do you want?
Imagine Ace killed himself without knowing he actually was the key to getting him without. Yeah, that would be crazy. Wow, we could have used a 1, but unfortunately, Ace decided to be an anesthesiologist and, knocked himself out for good. At last, Junpei's mind was already made up. He said with a posed look. Well, door 3 isn't really an option here, so... Shit, do I want to go with 7 or do I want to go with... Wait, let me just think about who would be with me if I picked which door, right? If I pick 7, that means our current number's up to 12, and at that point we need what, like another 4? So we need Clover. So if we pick door 7, it's going to be, me, Clover, 7, and... Shit, it might just be us 3, actually. Then if I go door 8, it would be, let's see, Lotus, Junpei, that would make 13. And for that we need another 4, so it would also be Clover. Either way, I have to leave June with someone else. So wait, door 3 though, if I were to do that, that's 6 and 5. Wait, no, hold on. Junpei's number... Okay, no, I had that right, yeah. Either way, I have to go with Clover. If I pick door 3, we would need Snake. Oh, no, wait, we would need Ace to make that work, but he's down for the count. Fuck it, door 3, why not? Actually, wait, no. I don't really want to leave June with Lotus, because I feel like that would be a problem, so... I'm gonna go door 8.
I think I'm gonna go with door 8.
Okay, 8 it is.
Alright, and then you have to go to door 7.
Yeah.
Also, why are we letting people pick? It's...
All right,
we have to go by numbers.
That means June's gotta go through 7.
What? Why?
His numbers. Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself, but finally began to explain.
If the 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind, there are only 3 ways we can do it.
Plan A.
Have 3, 5, and 8 go through 7, and 4, 6, and 7 go through 8.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8.
And?
Or 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8.
Okay.
There are no other combinations. In other words, 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors.
But 5 and 6...
You get it now?
Can? As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling up in the corners of her eyes.
Oh no! You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Well, the June route isn't happening. Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew that if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. Junpei's mind was already made up, shows options. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it was made up that he had to decide something. What do you think their therapists are gonna think after hearing all this? Imagine explaining, I was trapped on a ship with 8 other people and I only had a few hours to escape from the sinking Titanic. It'd be like, okay, and how did that make you feel? I didn't like it.
Hey,
I see.
Come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again.
Foreshadowing!
We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Look, that's the best we got, June. We gotta go. It didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9.
That's true.
In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now.
What if he is Zero? He's the only other guy named after a number.
I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. Tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
Let's see. As a person who goes to therapy, I know that's exactly the question they'd ask too, like, oh my god, how did that make you feel? I don't know, Jennifer. Fucking panicked? I almost drowned on a boat with, like, 8 people I don't like. So it was kind of like your job. It was kind of like my job, yeah. But this just goes into a thing about, like, I think you're metaphoring your work life into this time on a boat. And you need to, what have we said about work? We drop work at the door. We drop work at the door. And you drop the mystery boat when you leave the mystery boat. June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Yes. Promise?
Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice chatted the moment.
You guys are done, right?
Yeah, let's go. Fine. He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7 and Clover can take 8. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
Sure. It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
The misinterpretation is the most infuriating part because they just don't believe you. Yeah, like, was it a dream about a boat? No, I was just actually on a boat. But was it a real boat? It was called the Gigantic. So it wasn't a real boat. Maybe. At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked toward door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
As ready as we'll ever be. And Clover, you have to run fast, because if you don't, you will blow up.
Okay.
Then shall we go?
8, 4, 5.
It's open.
A narrow hallway stretched out before them. And it's rapido!
Okay.
Hurry!
3, 2, 1, go! Lotus and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in their bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his left, toward door 7. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked toward him. Their eyes met.
June.
Jumpy.
They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing?
Give me a minute! Shit! Ah! He got blurry. Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. The Death Watch. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep. Multiple, actually.
Hurry!
Lotus snapped at him and they ran to the dead.
Ugh.
Ugh. Gorsh! Junpei and Clover followed her as fast as they could. Okay, so we're not gonna die.
It stopped.
Excellent. With a shaking hand, she wiped a few beads of sweat from her forehead. Clover, however, was calm. Aloof, perhaps.
Pointless.
She muttered to herself without emotion and began to walk down the hallway, leaving behind a confused Junpei and Lotus. Junpei watched the girls receding back with a mix of frustration. Lotus watched the girls receding back with a mix of frustration and curiosity.
What an unpleasant girl. I bet she's not very popular with the boys.
Okay, Lotus, we just had a conversation spurred on by you about leaving one of us to die in this boat. Her sarcasm seemed a little more biting than was perhaps necessary, but she sighed and started after the young girl. Thought it said she farted after the young girl. That wouldn't happen,
Maybe pairing
I
these
hope.
two together was a mistake. Too late now. I better catch up to them.
After taking a moment to catch his breath, Junpei followed.
Ah, it's a dead end.
The hallway made a number of turns before at last coming to a dead end.
There's a door on the left, though.
For a few minutes, they stood in front of the door, examining it. Above the door was a plate with the word laboratory engraved on it.
A laboratory?
Or it's a laboratory, which means, this is a place where we pee.
Oh, that doesn't sound very pleasant. I don't like the look of this place.
Well, hey, we're on the lab part of it. If this is Resident Evil, we're basically at the end. The last melon.
Me either. But there aren't any other doors. It's not like we have a lot of choices.
Junpei,
Huh?
please, you first.
Junpei suspected her politeness was motivated by something other than respect.
Ugh, fine.
Junpei muttered to himself and pushed open the iron door. His first steps inside were tentative and careful, but as he examined the room, it became clear that there was no imminent danger. Lotus followed him in, and Clover brought up the rear. Another escape room, alright. The room they found themselves in was divided into two separate areas by a curved wall. A thick glass window built into that wall made it possible to see the other side of the division.
You know, I think the window looks into another room.
Mr. X shows up. I'm gonna get you back for killing me with the damn flashbang arrow! Oh yeah, apparently, fun fact, I think it wasn't that the flashbang killed him, it's that the timer that I needed to wait out, because apparently it's like a minute and a half before he, you get the rocket launcher for him. So the flashbang really just, like, happened right before the rocket launcher dropped. So it's entirely possible the flashbang did nothing. And it just happened to be right before he died. You know, I think the window looks into another room. Oh, you already read that.
Maybe monitoring something.
Force habit. Junpei walked to the window and looked through.
What the hell?
Wasn't sure what else to say. What the hell? What is that? A dummy? Like, there's a pen and stuff over here. In the center of a room shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical exam table.
It looks so creepy.
Junpei jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus come up next to him.
It's kind of like that doll is waiting for surgery.
This is a laboratory, right? I'd say it's more like it's waiting to be experimented on.
We're gonna see if we can make this doll come to life.
Ooh,
like in Toy Story.
It's creepy either way. You don't think that thing's gonna suddenly sit up or something, do you?
And I hope not. Shit. I didn't think it would before.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If we press the wrong button, I don't know.
Stop it. Just thinking about it is terrifying.
She was gripping her arms, the knuckles on her hands white.
Wait, where's Clover?
She was still standing next to the entrance, near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but it was drawn and somehow sad.
What is she?
There was something almost pitiful about her. Junpei walked over to her and, as kindly as he could, spoke.
Are you okay?
Clover looked away.
What are you talking about?
What? I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet.
What? I can't be quiet if I want to?
I mean, legally, no.
Well, I mean, of course you can. I just...
Okay then. If I can be quiet if I want, just leave me alone.
What if her hair is like one giant hat? That's why there's so much of it. She's more hair than person, really.
Come on, you know I can't do that. We gotta work together.
Clover bit her lip and was silent for a moment.
Junpei, you just don't get it!
I mean, Clover, we gotta do shit to get off the ship. I get that you're sad. I'm not denying that, but like... You know... You gotta, you know, keep going with your life, I guess. Her cry took Junpei by surprise, and he stumbled backward a few steps, alarmed. I'm not wrong, I realized losing a loved one would obviously set you off a bit. And I'm not denying that. But...
My brother's not the kind of person who'd just leave me behind! Something happened to him! Something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Junpei had nothing to say. Lotus, jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice, turned towards them.
What happened?
Clover's eyes slid to Lotus, then back to Junpei.
Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone.
Finished, she turned around. Before Junpei or Lotus could say anything, Clover had begun to walk quickly away. Also, you know, he might be on the other side of the door, so if you help us with it, you know, it'll go faster.
Hey, wait, Clover! Hold on! That way is...
I told you to leave me alone!
Might as well have been talking to a wall for all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Without even slowing down, she passed through the doorway.
Clover, watch out above you!
Well, alright. And without warning, an iron gate fell from the ceiling like a porculus, sealing Clover in.
What the heck? What's going on here?
What did you think, Clover? Clover grabbed hold of the iron bars and shook them as hard as she could.
Hang on! I'll get it open.
Oh, for crying out. You'll never do it on your own.
Junpei grabbed the bars and pulled. In a moment, Lotus joined him. The three of them pulled as hard as they could, but...
Damn it! It's not moving.
Wait! Are you gonna give up? Just like that?
No,
well, we
I'm
can't,
not
but
kidding.
like...
This has got to be another one of Zero's puzzles.
If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it.
What if Zero also is trapped in the ship, and he's just trying to convince them to solve all the puzzles so he can leave? Junpei nodded. He's at the top of a Lorax tree. Oh, you're playing Surgeon Simulator, you're cooked! I didn't kill him, it just happened when my poor magical rocket launcher fell from the sky, which I did kill him with after. Actually, that's true. I'm thinking up why Clover's pixelated. That's all a 3D model, and you're lucky you don't see her in such a horrid state. Oh god.
Just what I was thinking.
Are there
Now,
3D
all we
models
gotta
for
do
all the
is find
characters? That's kind of weird considering... Yeah, whatever.
it. Lotus and I can look around out here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there.
Oh, yes, I'm on it.
Alright. Seek a way out. Okay, so she's trapped in here. We are all in here. There. A window made of really thick glass. I don't even think a bullet could break it. Junpei! What voice should I use for Clover? It's like, let's go with, like, French or something. Junpei, do something, please! I don't remember what voice I was using for Lotus. Huh. I think it was English or something? I don't know. This looks like the control for some kind of electronic lock. The red light is on. And it's gotta be locked. There's a green light just below it. Although that one isn't lit. I bet it'll turn on if we can unlock it, right? Yes, but how are we going to unlock it? There's no keyhole, no card reader, and no keyboard for putting in a password. I have no idea. Alright. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't know how we could use any of these. Well, I can say for sure that I do know how to use at least one of these things. Which one? The one on top. I think it's a power cable. Power cable, huh? I'll take that. 3-prong power cable. Excellent. Where is there like a plug in the wall? Hold on. Oh. This is a keyhole. This looks like a keyhole for the activation key. Okay. I think this thing's supposed to power that machine in the other room. Well, it doesn't appear to be doing that. I wonder how we're supposed to turn it on. The hands on the clock have stopped moving. The clock may stop, but time goes on. No time to screw around. We need to figure out a way out of here. There are 2 levers here. I think they activate something? Well, why don't you move one? Alright, I'll give it a try. Nope. Doesn't look like anything's happened. The monitor doesn't have a power cable. So, one end of this cable needs to be connected to the monitor. The other one needs to plug it under the desk. Alright, let's just slip you in. Huh? Oh shoot, I can't use this. What's wrong? Oh shoot, I can't use... what's wrong? This cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. It's not gonna fit, is what I'm saying. In other words, we're going to need a plug to change the power cable to one with 2 prongs. That's right. We also have ethanol. Ethanol. I wonder if this is for antisepsis. Oh, it says anhydrous ethanol. Anhydrous? Is that different from the regular ethanol? Oh, wait, she's saying that. Come on, that's common knowledge. Anhydrous ethanol is a powerful cleaner. It can even erase marks left by a permanent marker. Interesting. I guess that's all there is. These lockers are all a little larger than the ones on top. Let's see if there's anything useful in here. And no, nothing. They're cardboard boxes. There's some papers and stuff in them. What's in the boxes? They're quite full. As far as I can tell, it's just a bunch of notes about some kind of experiments. It's all really technical and stuff I don't really get. Okay. I'm guessing this is the end game right here. Equipment, some of them might be useful. Okay. This is a really old type of keyboard. Not very impressive. Okay. A whole bunch of steel lockers. They're not in the right, all have little red lights in them. Red lights, huh? Well, can't hurt to give these babies a try. Yep, just as I thought. Loctite, all 9 of them. What if there's anything important in there? A mouse. The keyboard. Got the power cable. Without the 2-prong plug, it can't be connected. Okay, well, where's the 2-prong plug? Click on that in particular. What the cable's connected to? Okay, one side of this thing is in the room with us. The other side extends into the laboratory where Clover is. In other words, the console in front of us is connected to the device in the laboratory. Okay, that changes some things. Let's figure out how I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, so we can't use that on that. Might be able to give this to her. Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. How do can I search this? Power cable with 3 prongs. Yep, that's about as much as I thought it would be. Alright. Hold on, what about this one? There's gotta be something here that I'm missing. It's a rack. It's a rack. It's got a bunch of cables on it. Someone cuts the outer stuff off the cables. I can see the wires inside. Hey, Clover, how are the power cables over there? What do you mean? Is the plug of 3 prongs or 2? I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go look. Guess she does have to be kind of crouched down to get a look under there. The cable on the monitor has, it's got 2 of those little metal things. What does that mean? That's it! Okay, can you unplug that cable and bring it over here? Okay, but, well, I can unplug it, but it's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you. Damn it, that's no good then. Well, how about just the plug? What? The plug? Well, maybe more like a connector? It's the sort of thing that makes the plug with the 3 metal thingies into a plug with 2 metal thingies. Did it useless? Not useless, not useless at all. Okay, that's just what we were looking for. Okay, can you hold on for a little bit? And back down she goes. Alright, unplugged. I'll hand it over to you with the bars, okay? Okay. Here, it's a 2-prong plug. Thanks. Okay. 2-prong plug onto the head of this power cable. 2-prong power cable, okay. Now we can get the computer to do the thing. With the 2-prong power cable in my hand, I'm pretty sure this will work. Under the desk I go. Let's just plug this thing into the monitor. Alright, that ought to do it. Oh hey, she's on the screen. Beauty Club looks like a middle-aged mom. Now invested in 3D Zero Escape characters. Thank you, Arrow. Oh, nice. Glad to know I could help. Alright, let's turn the power on. I don't think anything's actually going to happen. Why not? Well, it's not connected to the main computer. You never know until you try. Pretty optimistic. Oh, hey. Junpei pushed the button on the front of the monitor.
Oh, that worked.
With a soft hum, it turned on. Streams of letters that made no sense to Junpei ran across the screen and all across the screen.
What?
What? He had hoped it would turn on, but he hadn't expected this.
Huh? It's running on its own?
It certainly looks like it.
Isn't that kinda weird?
What?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right?
So where's it connected to?
There's just this keyboard and monitor.
What if it is
connected?
connected?
Connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. So why is it working?
Maybe it's a all-in-one sort of
Maybe
deal?
it's a wireless display.
Yeah. Clearly, this was a reasonable explanation to Lotus.
A wireless display?
A wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly, hence the name. Have you been living in a cave, Junpei?
Dude is running off of Windows Vista, man. He most certainly had not, but...
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
Where did you work?
Oh.
Oh, it stopped.
Pass with a colon.
Looks like we need to
I
enter
refuse to pass my colon. I'm surprised the ship has this much power after a hull breach supposedly so massive. I think it was a controlled hull breach. I'm guessing most of it is about, like, part of the lower ship, but maybe that was modified in a way that where it would still be a thing? I don't know.
Again, there must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you going to do?
I'll see if I can do something about this on my own.
On your own?
Yep, on my own.
She's a computer lady.
Lotus?
As you can tell. Lotus pulled over the nearest chair and dropped herself down on it in front of the keyboard. For a second, she stared at the screen. She kneaded her hands, knuckles popping, and twisted her back left then right.
All right. Let's kick some ass.
You remember like that one hacking scene from CSI where they're like both typing on the keyboard simultaneously to hack faster? Lotus smiled to herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. Okay, hold on. If he was looking at her hands, his eyes would have to go from like... They'd be like right here-ish if they're looking at her hands. His eyes, are not looking at her hands. Look at the direction of his face. Then, before Junpei had the time to blink, she was typing at an incredible speed. The click-clack of the keys running together like machine gun fire.
Wait, what?
Junpei was, for once, at a loss for words. No, you get shocked kind of a lot, dude. I think you'd have so many hours unless those tubes at the beginning area where they can control the water flow. That'd be still confusing with the water pressure being a bitch. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure how they calculated it. Just that there's only around 9 hours.
Of course I didn't! You're typing so fast, I can't even see your fingers.
Lotus grinned, pleased with herself.
Well, at any rate, you're pretty amazing.
Did you fall for me again?
I never fell for you in the first place.
Whoa, what do you mean, again? I'm not into you.
The fucking way he said that.
I know.
I'm not into you.
So stubborn, shy boy.
Even wearing 3 layers of clothing is awful. Like, take off Puffer and give that shit to, Lotus. I actually just noticed that. Yeah, that's weird that he's like, he must be really cold.
I am not being stubborn, I am not shy, and I am not a boy.
I appreciate,
I am a young, healthy, 21-year-old man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fall for an old lady like you.
Christ. Dude, there's no reason to, like... Suddenly, the guttural roar of a furious animal filled the room. Or so Junpei thought for just a moment. Lotus's hand suddenly stopped, and her shoulders stiffened.
Old lady? Did you just say old lady?
Why does everyone keep calling her old? She doesn't even look old. Ah, crap, thought Junpei. I went too far. Oh well, it was a nice life while it lasted.
I've had enough of you. Go somewhere else. You're bothering me.
What?
Go see if you can find a password hint or something. I'll try and open this from here. You're distracting me. Go. Now.
Lotus waved her hand in the universal gesture of dismissal. Junpei was clearly not wanted. Well, dude, don't call her old. Like, she doesn't even look old.
Fine. I guess I'll go.
To cut my losses, Junpei thought, and left as quietly and inoffensively as he could. Junpei wandered around the room for a while, looking for anything that might help find the password for the computer. Unfortunately... Maybe the password is the clock.
Nothing. No clues whatsoever. Clover didn't find anything useful in the laboratory either.
Damn. Looks like we've hit a dead end this time.
But just as he was about to tell Lotus that his search had returned nothing...
All right. Bullseye. Junpei, I did it.
Excited cheering erupted from near the monitor. He hurried back to find Lotus looking rather smug.
Let me see.
She gestured for him to take a look at the screen, and then he did. Lotus said for a second, then he died. I like her angry face. Looks similar to All Might. Oh yeah, it does. You know, like the lines going down her face and the eyes. Yeah. The strange text from before was gone. In its place was something entirely different. Cat videos. Nope, Windows Vista. Alright. 9 squares, arranged in a 3x3 square.
What is that?
Othello?
I don't have any idea. It just showed up after I cracked the password.
You think it's a puzzle?
It certainly looks like one.
As she spoke, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do any more. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard.
It's broken?
Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
What?
Alright, sure, fine.
You take a break, alright? I did my part.
Well...
Alright. Maybe it's one of those puzzles where I have to, like, flip all the things to the same color. Wasn't sure what to say to that. She certainly had done her part, in fact, without Lotus. They probably would have run completely aground. I shouldn't rely on other people so much, Junpei thought to himself.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. And make sure you know when you should thank people.
Lotus, the way you said that
now
feels
I
somewhat
better take
villainous.
care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
Junpei crossed his arms and stared at the puzzle shown on the screen. Oh, okay, thought it was one of these. Alright. Okay, so that didn't work. Oh, there we go. Alright. Added in the wrong order. Alright, I solved it! Did you hear a noise just now? Yeah, I did. Did you hear a noise just now? Yeah, I did. It sounded like something unlocking. Where did it come from? Oh, hey, look at that. Look, Junpei! The lights on the lockers are all green. Notice with using a hickaxe and sounds so wrong. I wonder what the other people are doing with their puzzles. Oh, yeah. anything? Oh wait, we get, it's more than one key in here. This one is small, and it looks like it goes to some sort of machine. And this one has the Earth symbol on it. I think the Earth symbol matches the keyhole in the door on A deck. Well, if that's the case, we probably don't need the Earth key right now. Alright then, Earth key. I'll just tuck you away deep in my pocket. As for the other key, the activation key. What key is this? From the shape of it, I'd say it's not for a door. Probably some sort of device. Oh! What is it? I wonder, do you think maybe this is the activation key for that thing? The activation key? Yes, it has to be. I feel good about this. Alright, so yeah, it's the thing for that one desk. It was just at that moment that he had heard a voice behind him. It was Clover.
Hey, Junpei, do you have a minute?
To do what? He put the puzzle aside for the moment and walked over to Clover. What are the other people doing with their puzzles? About the thing you said about Zero using everyone to escape. And why isn't he following everyone else through the doors as well? Let's see somewhere else. What if he's following far enough behind to the point where he can also get out but not be seen by them?
What's up?
That's the only thing I can think of, is that he's just like watching and waiting for them to like open all the doors so that he can just run through. That said, it would be kind of a gamble to leave it up to the last, like, I'm guessing hour or so, when they're still trying to get through the rest of the ship.
Well... Never mind.
Hey, hold on a minute. What does...
Sorry. Just forget about it. It's nothing.
Before he could say anything else, she spun around and ran back down the stairs.
What the hell was that?
After waiting a few minutes to see if she would return, Junpei sighed, shook his head, and went back to searching. Anyway, we got the Wacom key. This key, the shape sure makes it seem like it goes to this machine. Alright, I'm turning it on. He speeds her with the stealth of a video game character in verse. Yeah. Amazing ability to not go detect. Like, he pops up behind the locker or whatever, and Junpei's like, huh? Then he fades back in, and it's like, must have been the wind. Okay, the monitor's on now. It's full of letters. It's showing some kind of warning. Power restored to the experimental device. Emergency system will activate in the event of an aforementioned subject behavior. Okay. Clicking this keyboard isn't doing squat. It's made out of glass. I don't know what kind of tables this is, but part of it is all black. There's a pen lying over here. I think someone probably used it to make the table black. Well, if they only use the pen on one part of it, there's probably something next underneath all that pen. Oh, but do you think you can erase it? Yeah, sure. Oh, this is a permanent. This is a permanent marker. I'm losing my accents, man. Make for a great horror sequence. Find Zero before time runs out. It's just a dark place full of shelves and lockers with horror aspects. That could be interesting, yeah. Junpei, do you know how to erase ink from a permanent marker? Erase ink from a permanent marker, huh? Give me just a minute, Clover. I'll be right back. Okay. And here we are. Thank you so much for everything. Oh, what's this all about? And also, I'm sorry I messed up. Hey, we can talk about this when we get you out, okay? Hang on, Clover. We'll get you out of there right away. Yay! Yay! I think this is the first time I've actually seen a genuine smile out of this chick. Okay, great, but, Clover, use this ethanol. You should be able to wipe off that permanent ink with it. What am I gonna wipe with? Oh, well, your clothes, of course. Kidding, just kidding. Please don't look at me like that, you're scaring me. We need to get her like a rag or something. How about this? Clover, can you use the cloth on the table? Use, huh? Soak it in ethanol and then use it to wash off the stuff from the permanent marker, okay? Right, okay, so I gotta soak the cloth with ethanol. Well, she's got the cloth, but seems to be having a little trouble with the bottle of ethanol. She's ready, I should ask her to get to work on that stuff on the table. I guess this drain is for water, huh? Well, there's nothing here. Okay, well, anyway. A little trouble with the thing in ethanol. Put the cloth in ethanol and... Okay, there we go. Junpei! It's working! It's wiping the permanent ink off. I'm going through every European accent ever existed right now. Huh? There's some kind of weird drawing on the permanent ink. What's the deal with the drawing Clover found? Maybe I should ask her to take another look at the table. I wonder what this is. There are a bunch of numbers in some kind of grid. Can't see it from here. Clover, you got a pen and a notebook, right? Can you write those numbers down and then hand them over to me through the bars? Okay. Roger. Hey, Junpei. I wrote down all the numbers from the desk right here. I've seen something like this before. A grid divided into 9 cells with 4 numbers. Maybe this is a hint for the computer puzzle. Are you going to need this? Yeah, maybe. I'll take it, just in case. New material has been added to the file screen. Alright, file. Yeah, now we're there. Alright. We need to go to here, I think. What even was the file, truly? Different places in the store by using the flowchart. Both store segments and escape rooms can be viewed. Okay. Wait, can I see the flowchart right now? Oh, damn, alright. So yeah, not every choice leads to a different ending, but like... Okay, so... I'm guessing this is the door 3 one, because this one leads up back in the other ones. And it appears this one has like a dead end sort of thing. And each of these have a branch right down the middle. For a grand total of, I think, 5 endings. Let's see though in the files. Special functions. Alright. Wait. Oh, Clover's note. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. 4 numbers written in 9 separate cells. Power sorted experimental device. Okay. Experimental device. What would that be in this case? Need the computer anymore. Well, shit. But the room has changed, the lever is down now. Okay. Keyboard, it does nothing. Why do you started the key? Okay, Full device for the electronic door lock. Way to put the password in. I don't see where there is a grid like that. Is this like an examination table? One from British, what can only be described as British, Irish, Australian. Yeah, that was not good. I'll be real. Never freak out of just going through all the extra choices to click down on. Exactly. Is this like an examination table? There's a creepy mannequin here, guys. I've noticed. Alright, where would the grid be? So, maybe here? Guess that's all there is. Nothing else in the other 8 lockers. Shit. The only thing I can think of, though, with the grid. It's a clock. Hands have stopped, so we don't know what time it actually is. Okay. In other words, I need her to probably do something else in that room. It's the monitor. There's a whole lot of cables under this table. Junpei! Junpei, this thing is on now. Yeah, it's because we activated the power on this side. Do you, like, play with it a little? Okay, yeah. I'll turn this dial here. Turn, don't turn. I don't think it's working. Nothing happened. Maybe it's German now? I don't even know what voice I'm doing, dude. I'm gonna... You know, I need to hit her with all reliable. Well, maybe she missed something. I should ask her to look around the room again. Got the scribblings from the table already. Okay, the rack. There are some cables with copper wire exposed. Okay. What are they doing in here? Huh? Why is she all quiet now? They've been doing experiments on humans. Probably. Oh man, now she looks sad. Huh? Sink? What if it's a washed here? There are these weird colored stains all over the sink. Maybe if you increase the voltage? Roger. Will do. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way to max voltage. Max voltage? Hey! Wait, Clover! Ah, shit. What? I think, Who's gonna kill that mannequin? Oh my god! The mannequin's head! Oh man, that sounds like a fire alarm. And she's gonna die from smoke. What the hell? Fire detected! Fire detected! The emergency system will be activated. Evacuate the room immediately. Well shit, she's fucking trying to. Oh hey. Gold light through electronic door lock. Green light is on. Junpei! Junpei, look at the light. Yeah, it's green. The emergency system has activated and disabled the lock. Now we can save Clover. Junpei! Come on, kid, jump! She's safe! Oh man, that smoke is some serious business. I've closed this door again, I think. Clover! You okay? Are you hurt? Cough, cough. Damn it, she's coughing so hard she can't even talk. Cough, cough. Of course I'm not alright! What the hell took you so long, you big jerk? Bitch! I was almost dead. I was right there. You're the one who put on max voltage immediately. Sorry, I was going as fast as I could. You two can do this later. Right now, we need to get the hell out of here. That fire's not going to stay in that room forever. Also, mind you, Clover, you were the one who put it on max voltage. You found it. Wait, what were the scribbles about? Oh, that might have been about the puzzle before. Okay, so that might have been... I already did the puzzle by the time I found that, so I didn't even need that. Okay. Junpei, Clover, and Lotus leapt out of the laboratory, slamming the door shut behind them.
Whew, thank God we got out of there.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have to do any more accents for the moment, which I'm generally needing improvement on. All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Junpei's heart was pounding in his chest, and his whole body felt weak. He inhaled gulps of clean air, and with each one, he could feel his body begin to calm down.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
They nodded to each other and started off down the hallway. Also, we started a fire on the boat. That's not great. I hope it's contained, but I'm not sure if it is. Before long, they found a few new doors, but all of them were locked.
Damn, none of these open. They're all locked.
How about that one?
The final door sat in a corner of the hallway.
Let's hope this is the door with the prize.
And behind it is half of a new car! Junpei grabbed the door handle and was about to pull it open when a voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. It's June, probably. There was no doubt the voice belonged to...
Jumpy!
Yep.
Huh?
He spun around. There at the other end of the hall, Junpei saw human figures running towards him. 3 of them.
June? Santa! 7!
He sounds a little more happy to see the other 2, not gonna lie. They stopped short in front of Junpei and his companions, gasping for air.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Hey, on the wall.
Map.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor?
Yeah,
then?
I can see it. But what letter is it?
Door 7.
Okay, so go through
and
there. Da-da-da-da.
Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
Oh. Cool. In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9.
Exactly.
We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. And that's how the nonary game works.
I guess. Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. This leads to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh!
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
Yeah.
Where exactly? Looks like we're all going in one direction. As one, they all moved back toward the door Junpei had opened only a moment ago. Junpei had only been ready to
almost
open.
forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map off of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket, and followed the others. 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke, without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
What do they think is inside? You went British to Irish to German. Yeah, you found it is a very descriptive thing to put in bold text. Imagine I just say that whenever someone walks into a room and picks something up, like, you found it! And they're like, the fuck are you talking about, Arrow? They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would
We're
be.
back. In the hospital room.
Different hospital room, though.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying.
Oh, no, it's the same hospital room.
The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
And I survived the anesthesia, which was meant to kill me.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
He looked like anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. I don't know, they open the doors and potentially kill him immediately. Oh, that's true. But like, I think it's only with numbered doors. He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me.
Don't worry about it, I know lots of people who are altruistic.
I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
Yeah. Evan
Anyway,
smiled.
I said we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room.
Oh, okay.
Here.
We also have the Earth key. 7 tossed something small and metallic toward Junpei.
Whoa.
Why are they giving it to him?
Nice catch.
Jeez.
He caught it and found that the object was a key. Like he just said.
See. So this is
21.
Jupiter.
On it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to 4. to a 4. Oh, I guess it is kind of like a 4. He looked over at June, who nodded back. It had to be the Jupiter symbol. Ace is immortal. Or shouldn't be awake or alive. The entire vial that could easily kill a decently sized bloodhound. What if he's been microdosing on anesthesia for years and just trying like to feel something, you know?
I'm gonna let you hold on to that.
What if he's had a ton of ketamine and then now he's immune to it?
Yeah, on it.
Junpei tucked a new key into his pocket.
So how many unused keys do we have now?
There's the Earth key we found in the laboratory. The Saturn key card we found in the kitchen. And the Jupiter key you just gave me.
Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested that they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. Just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
Well, yeah. There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 just as hard as she could, just the same. He looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover, and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
So if she, 7, and then June go, they could probably get through it. Clover nodded once. I just wouldn't vaccinate himself to anesthesia. I mean, not vaccinate, but like, if you take enough of a drug at any point in time, your resistance to it goes up. So in theory, if he takes a little bit of it over time, it'll make him more resistant to it. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again.
Okay, so in other words, it's 5 at the moment, and they need to get up to 7. No, wait, 3. Yeah, 3, that's it. So they need 7 to go with them.
So 7, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Well, yeah. Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 plus 12, yeah, 3. Looks like 7 was doing them too. At least, at last he gave up.
Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be.
Yep.
So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
Alright, let's get moving.
Yes, you are, Ace said, not at all remotely intimidatingly. And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3. Aerosales for vaccination is just injecting the thing you meant to protect yourself from in order to develop immunities to it. No. Well, like, that's not the term you use for a drug. You don't vaccinate yourself against a drug. You vaccinate yourself against, like, a disease or something, right? Am I wrong? I've never once heard that anyone refer to a drug that way. Like, you don't vaccinate yourself against rattlesnake venom. You vaccinate yourself against the disease by injecting a dead version of the virus into your system. Who knows how to fight it? And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Like, I'm not saying that the term can't be used that way, but I'm saying I've never heard it used that way.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Ah. I guess that specification makes sense. I mean, it might... I'm not saying it's not the term. That might very well be the term just in general for that. I just don't know if it is. Alright. Anyway, 7 nodded as if the answer made much more sense, and pulled the lever on the red. I guess we could wait for them.
We're off.
The door opened and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. 6, 7, 8, and there it closes. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
Alright, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving?
Where are we going?
Everyone except Lotus seems rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes.
Jupiter,
If we're
I
lucky,
barely know
we
her.
might find Snake.
But how would he have gotten somewhere? They were at the end of the hallway lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
Jupiter, I barely know
Alright,
her.
Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a deep breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. Very nice description of the plan, Lotus. The black screen really helped, girl. I mean, we're basically just opening a door, but they were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
Well, we could open a door we didn't open before.
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
I don't think he's either.
Huh?
This.
Junpei pulled 2 things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key? I'm
Yeah.
lost.
Both of these things are here. Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa? On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And
Okay,
on
so yeah,
A
that's what that
deck,
was for.
On the door to the left,
We've basically just looped our way back like in
there
Dark
was a
Souls or
keyhole
Resident
with
Evil.
the Earth symbol on it, I think.
The games that invented the looping around a place. Or like Metroid.
So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck.
When did Junpei become an asshole? He seemed like a reasonable dude earlier. He's a little weird, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, that's right.
To be fair, Santa is a pretty antagonistic kind of guy for the most part. Like, there are plenty of points where he'll just say things that are kind of like, bro, like, chill. And whatnot, you know? So, him being a little mean to Santa does make a little bit of sense.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you
He's a
say
little
we
bit
split
of a
into
weird
2
guy.
teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take
Yeah,
this
sure,
key.
give me the one with all the monsters. They decided that their initial search should be brief.
We have no idea what's on the other side of these. So don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
Okay. Plan decided, the 2 teams splitted? Split. The term is split. Not splitted. What? Split it up? No, you split up. Right? Or am I wrong? Actually, wait, am I wrong? Shit. Junpei and June headed for the elevators.
There's a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
Alright. A light in the upper left corner blinked to life.
Great! It looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
Yell? Elevator? There was a single button to the right of the elevator door.
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
Oh, so it only
There's
goes...
no up button.
Oh.
Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
Maybe that's the natural way a triangle's supposed to be. Who are you to decide that it's upside down?
It opened! Look, Jumpy!
June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
Alright. He grinned at June and stepped toward the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait!
What?
Did she see Mission Impossible and get scared of elevators?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? June was probably afraid of... they could only go down? She was afraid because the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators in the A or B decks near the central staircase. All of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Yeah, so why isn't it wet?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head toward the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
He looked around the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Test it?
Yeah, watch
If
this.
we go down there and we drown...
Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. All right,
Really?
I'll push E.
Well, I guess if D deck flooded, if they managed to seal off it before it went down to the E deck, then it's possible it's still there. The door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned. You being so slow is painful yet accurate because they probably haven't slept all day. There's that, and then there's also the fact that,
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen.
I'm guessing they need June to do that, partially just to explain things to the audience, or be like, well, wait, what about this thing? When we probably do need to think about it.
See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest, just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean?
It means that E deck is
How can
dry.
E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
Maybe you should go down there. He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Maybe that D deck was just meant to be like one of those, whatchamacallits, like a ballast or something. Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket.
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay
Look at the
here,
plot device
all right?
characters exist. Yeah, that's probably part of it. You gotta explain it to the audience. That's why every action show from there was a trend for years ago where they'd have a character just being off to the side being like, oh my god, what just happened? And then someone else would be like, you don't know? He just fired a laser from his ass. At light speed.
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze, then hopped onto the elevator. And when we get down there, we see just a submarine or something. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision, when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Okay.
Huh?
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
It was kind of dangerous there. Junpei slammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap, it closed!
Oh boy. The door had shut, and he and June were in the elevator, and it was headed down to E deck. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
You could try. The elevator stopped and the door slid open. They tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish. Or at least something that looked very much like one. Above land? Oh. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought.
Ah.
This part hasn't flooded.
Or the in English please characters that only exist for people not paying enough for good attention or don't understand the 3,000 pages of lore prior to the movie in some obscure comic series. Yeah, no, that's fair. I like the pros that he's get where he's like, in English, goddammit! In French! In Morse code! And the guy's just like, beep, 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 beep.
Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
We're gonna get drowned, probably. Or we could try to swim up through the thing to get to D deck.
Die.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
Well, think about it. Like, though, if the ceiling breaks, that means the water level on D deck is also lowering. So if we swim up through the hole, once it gets to be too much, we can just go up there and potentially find air again.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
Junpei glanced around the room they'd found themselves in. Okay, you know what? I think this is a good point to stop just because we finally got in a new place and it's been a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Brandoid. My next stream will be sometime this week. If you want to see when, make sure to keep an eye for my schedule tomorrow. Either way, have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now. Explaining the biblical verses backwards in German. Dark one.